In a busy city stood a beautiful corporate company owned by a kind and humble businessman named Daniel. Daniel was not the kind of boss who stayed inside a luxurious office while his employees struggled outside. Every morning, Daniel walked through the office, greeting his employees with a smile. He knew many of them by name. He listened to their problems, celebrated their achievements, and encouraged them whenever they felt discouraged. He wanted every employee to succeed, not only the company. Daniel helped his employees build better lives. He supported programs that helped them afford their own homes and cars. He provided complete benefits, retirement funds, and financial assistance during difficult times. To him, a company was a family. Whenever an employee faced a difficult task, Daniel never said, "That's your problem." Instead, he would say, "Let's solve it together." Because of his leadership, the office became a place filled with happiness, teamwork, laughter, and respect. Everyone worked hard because they didn't feel like ordinary employees. They felt valued, they felt heard, they felt like family. But one day, everything changed. After years of unexpected challenges and financial losses, Daniel's company finally reached a breaking point. The business had lost almost everything. Daniel stood in front of his employees with tears in his eyes. "I am sorry," he said quietly. "I have tried everything I could, but the company can no longer afford to continue. I may have to close the business." The entire office became silent. The employees were devastated. They knew what the company had given them. For many of them, this company had paid for their homes, supported their families, helped them during emergencies, and given them opportunities they never thought they could have. But more than that, Daniel had treated them with dignity. He had stood beside them when life was difficult. Now it was their turn to stand beside him. Daniel prepared to close the building. But before he could do it, something unexpected happened. The employees gathered together. One employee stepped forward. "Sir, you helped us when we had nothing. You gave us opportunities when nobody else believed in us. How can we leave you now?" The employees made a decision. They would continue fighting for the company, even if they temporarily had no salary. Not because Daniel demanded it, not because they were forced, but because they wanted to repay the kindness he had shown them for years. They divided the remaining work. Some employees searched for new clients, others improved the company's products. Some worked on marketing, others contacted old customers and business partners. Everyone contributed whatever they could. The empty and struggling company slowly began to move again. Day after day, the employees worked together. There were failures. There were difficult nights. There were moments when they almost wanted to give up. But whenever someone became tired, another employee would say, "We don't give up on family." Their unity became their greatest strength. Little by little, new customers came. Orders increased. The company began earning money again. The business that once stood at the edge of collapse slowly returned to life. And then came the day nobody expected. The company became profitable again. Not only did it survive, it became stronger than ever. When Daniel finally returned to the office, he could hardly believe what he saw. The company was alive. The employees were smiling. The business was growing. Daniel covered his face as tears rolled down his cheeks. "You saved this company," he whispered. One employee smiled and replied, "No, sir, you saved us first. We simply returned the kindness you gave us." Daniel could not hold back his tears. Neither could the employees. They gathered together, celebrating the greatest victory their company had ever experienced. They had started with almost nothing. They had fallen from the top to the bottom. But through gratitude, unity, hard work, and genuine care for one another, they rose again. The company was no longer just a business. It had become a family that had survived together. Lesson: a great leader is not measured by how much money he controls, but by how many lives he helps improve. And true loyalty cannot be bought with money. When you treat people with kindness, respect, and genuine care, the impact you create can return to you in ways you never expected. Even a company that falls from zero can rise again.